So I have finally named this machine. I'm not really that keen on giving them names and things. I've mainly been calling it the tractor or traktorn, as the previous owner called it, and I think that's even further up north. Everything with a diesel engine and some wheels is a tractor. But I have now named this machine and I call it Hydra, thinking of the mythical beast with many heads, and cutting one off, two more appear, because for every problem I fix it feels like two more of them appear, or two more are found. So it's now named Hydra. While I was tackling getting access to that the gas cylinder in here, wanted to have that checked up, that it was good pressure in it, so the computer needed to be undone for sure. There is a big rat's nest. Some of the wiring was cross looped. I missed recording, but I took the pins out and moved some wiring around between to reroute the cables, and had to get the pins out of the contact. But it was just one of them. I think there are a few more. I would have loved to shorten a lot of the wires here, but I need to buy a bunch of the pins required, and maybe a good tool for crimping the pins if I'm gonna start redoing all this. So it will not be done this time around, but getting the computer out was quite a struggle, because of the bolts and access, and there is one at the bottom that they had done something special and welded a pin to the bolt, and I'm not sure really what, and all the rubber vibrations reducers fell out of the bracket, and so I was a little bit upset before I got it out. So I will do something about that. The bracket holding the computer also needed to come out to be able to get the gas cylinder out of there. I will also tackle that one of the clamps for this gas cylinder was had a broken bolt. Some cleaning up. Had a hose down here that had some wear on it. It wasn't any confirmed leaks on it. It goes to the cylinder that pushes the measuring wheel for length out, and at the other end it ended up being pretty much impossible to access, as the harvester head is situated right now. So I gave up on it. I had put some string on there to pull it out and be able to get it back in underneath the hydraulic package here, and I ended up just covering the kind of damaged areas with some protection and rerouting it back in place. So I will tackle that today. I confirm a leak. I also replaced one of the big hoses up in the knee of the arm or elbow or whatever you want to call it. Was some clamp holding the pipes in place, so had to be undone to get access. Was on there quite tight, but another wrench for leverage, and it was possible to undo. In the front part where it was connected, it was pretty much the same situation. A little clamp that had to be undone, and even tighter access, but could be undone. Looked a little at some of the hoses down under here and cleaning up, and a few of them are really well worn. I don't think they're leaking, but they will be replaced as a precaution. Had gotten a few new hoses that seemed to leak around they were worn and looked bad, but not leaking, I think, except a tiny bit of dripping around where the fitting is pressed in place. So I replaced two more back here on the crane. But that was not very tricky. They went on there quite easily. Put a little bit of protection on them, tighten up the clamp when I got the new big hose in place. I think most of that was missed with video. I also missed the entire thing where we were able to extract the broken bolt that held the gas cylinder in the harvester head, but down here we had to use an extension for the reverse drill, and where it was broken, it was not very easy to get the drill started, but eventually we could get it to start taking out some material. Eventually it caught on the drill and just backed itself out, so it went okay, but I missed recording it. Had the gas accumulator in, and first it was a misunderstanding, and they thought I was searching for a replacement, and it seemed to have held quite close to the specified 80 bars of pressure, but they topped it off and said that apparently it seemed to be leaking. The leak, it was a tiny bit of leak on the oil side, it sounded like, and the guy who had done the service work, he went on vacation, so I could get to talk to him. So I wanted to start the machine and see if any leaks could be spotted, and sure, Hydra delivers. I found several leaks. The pipes here are leaking, and the pipes back here are leaking, so there will be more wrenching videos. There was also some leaks at the elbows, but that's my own doing, these elbows here, because I wasn't really where I placed these Tredo washers on there with a rubber seal, and that's not correct on these fittings, and I didn't want to tighten them very hard because it's an aluminum block, so that's partly my fault. So, but I undid them and was gonna get proper seals from. I actually ended up replacing them, but more on that later. Spent some time cleaning up the computer. Reinstallation of that will be in a future video, because I want to do something better with all those vibration rubbers. There will be more wrenching videos, it seems, but hopefully it's not that much left on this machine. I want to bring in the forwarder also, that I don't have a name for yet, so we'll see if it ever gets a name. But steady but slow progress on everything. There will be more updates on the excavator also. Yeah, a small leak when it was started was found back here, and I have been back here kind of removing several small leaks, and but on this valve block there is a adapter here that has a O-ring seal on it that seemed to dribble a tiny bit of oil, so that was replaced.